everybody, welcome back to the JB Sills Show, more specifically School Sucks. My name is Producer Brooke.
Yo! Okay, that was really bad, but I'm your host, JB. It's nice. Everything is nicey and dicey.
This is the show where we put gaming footage in the background while we talk about how school sucks, because you know it does.
Taught by two wonderful, highly respected individuals.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. But this time, we are talking about how schools kind of don't like your mental health. They kind of want to get rid of it and throw it in the garbage.
No, but you see, they give you a guidance counselor class every once a month telling you about how important mental health is. So you see, they're actually advocates of mental health. They're the most principled and strong advocates of mental health.
Ah, yes, right.
Mmm.
Guidance counselors very useful for kids' mental health.
Yes.
I mean, they probably help a bit, but not all of them. But anyway, we are going to be talking about that because it's pretty big. If you have ever gone to school, which is you probably have if you're watching this, I don't know why you'd be watching this, but you are free to watch this if you have not gone to school.
Yes.
You probably have felt that you did not want to be in school, and maybe you felt a bit depressed being in school.
And I think the good old rates would back that up a little bit.
Oh yeah, especially during, these times. Online schooling. I don't think kids are too happy with that.
No.
Especially because the grades of, failing grades have gone up, six-fold or whatever.
Yeah, six-fold. Well, that was probably the most extreme example, but 100%, 130%, and then in one case it was 600%.
Ah!
Yeah, it's really
cool.
moist.
Very cool and nice and good.
Yeah, I don't think half the kids even show up in a lot of cases.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I don't blame them. It's just, that's not how you get anything resembling learning. But anyway, yeah, school basically just makes you feel terrible all around.
Yeah, I mean, certain classes, certain just, you're listening to the teacher lecture for an hour. In college, maybe 2 hours.
Fun.
Take notes, kids. It's gonna be on the test. Everything I say is gonna be on the test.
Yes, and then it's like a little game where, can you pass the test? All right, then you can just forget all that, move on to the next level. Ooh, you gotta study, but you better remember this, and then you pass it. Oh, forget it all. Cool.
Right, school is basically just a forced game, because you're not learning anything out of it.
Yeah.
And if you do, some people learn a bit out of it. You have the occasional thing that sticks with you. But, you just forget a lot of things. I have completely forgotten some of the math stuff I learned last year.
I've forgotten most of the math stuff I've learned this year.
Ah, good. And it's hang on. How do I do this again? Let me just do the old Google real quick here. Ah, yes, I got the answer.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. And one major thing is homework, which does not help with education or learning or anything at all. But homework is probably one of the most egregious problems with the school system, where it really just, you've finally done 7 hours of school of having your mind numbed, and oh boy, you got the homework assignments in every class. That'll be fun, won't it?
Yeah, it's gonna be super fun. This is what I don't get about homework. It's to refresh your mind. Your mind doesn't need refreshing. You're there for 35 hours a week.
Yeah, if your mind needs refreshing, then you got a little problem with your system.
If you need review because you didn't learn everything that day, that's fine. But you shouldn't have to do homework.
Yeah, if they can't get it through your skull in an hour of class, then I think they're the ones with the problem, not you.
Yeah, it's and there's more days. There's 180 days in the school year.
That's a lot of days. It's pretty brutal, and then you get the summer, and then it's the next level, and it's just level 1, replace it with the grade, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, each one gets more depressing and difficult and sad and boring.
Yeah, and I know this is a very statistically oriented show, but just one statistic. About 17% of high schoolers say that they have seriously considered suicide.
Pretty, I don't want to make fun of this, but I don't want to make a joke about this anyway, or be sarcastic, but that is not good.
Big not good.
And then the percentage of kids who, suicide goes down in the summer, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gets cut in half, basically.
During when there's no school.
Mm-hmm. Shock? No, that's just a big old goal. The school system actually probably decreases the suicide because they're just such a positive influence.
Ah, yes. positive influences all around being trapped in a school building for 7 hours a day.
Because if they think you're sad, they'll call you in to have a talk with their out-of-touch guidance counselor.
Yes, who will tell you to, like, meditate or something.
Wow.
Take more notes. Be organized. You know how much that helps mental health. Just be organized. It'll fix all of your problems.
You shouldn't have to. Kids should not be forced to learn, because that's not how learning works. I don't care if you think that's what the case is, because it's not. That's not how learning works. You learn basically out of your own creative instincts. You don't learn because your teacher put a paper in front of you and gave you a pen and said, all right, you gotta fill this out. That's not how learning works. That's not how learning has worked into the last 2,000 years of history. That's not how humans are made. Humans are made instinctively wanting to learn. They want to acquire information. What the school does is suck that out of you with all this dry, boring, nonsense work.
And I'll give you an example here. Last year, we were in school back then. Last year, I didn't really want to learn history because I'm not a big history nerd. I couldn't tell you much of what happened. I mean, like, some wars happened.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. But then over the summer, after we finished online school, I learned all about computers and how they worked because I built a PC. So I learned all about computers and how they worked because I wanted to learn about them. And I learned a lot because that's what I wanted to learn.
Look, I like history, and I think producer Brooke knows that better than anyone else.
Yeah.
However, I found history in school pretty boring. However, you pull up YouTube, and as dumb as it sounds, you watch some videos on YouTube, and you're like, whoa, this is actually very interesting. For me, maybe not for other people, but I can't learn and love history by getting a bunch of papers on the movements of the French during the French and Indian War. That's not how I like that's not how I learn or like history. I like history when it's interesting, when it's sort of detailed, but also very entertaining to watch, instead of this boring work where you don't get anything out of it. You get absolutely nothing out of it.
I feel like when you don't want to learn, you kind of just bypass the learning part and go straight to the test. I gotta know enough to pass the test. But when you want to learn, you actually pick up on things, and you don't focus on passing a test. You just focus on, this is interesting stuff.
Yeah. You're not doing it just so that you get that A, so that you can collect your little A and go a little bit more insane. You do it because you actually like it. Imagine that. Imagine liking learning. Can anyone watching this in school imagine enjoying school? Because that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it was for, thousands and thousands of years before we had this formalized school system. That's how it was you liked what you learned. If you go back to, like, 95% of human history, that's how you learn. You didn't learn by going to school. There was no school.
Well, there was school.
No, I'm talking about, like, prehistoric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there was no school, and you learn by going out in the environment. So that's just how we're hardwired to learn. That's just how it is. And you don't learn by having stuff shoved in front of you while being secluded from the outside of your world and having your sanity drained out of you.
Right, you're just trapped in these buildings. You can't leave, and you just have to stay in these classrooms and listen to the teacher, write down your little essays or fill in multiple choice until you can do that again and again and again for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go to college, that's more.
Woohoo!
Hey, editing producer Brooke here. I forgot to mention, probably the biggest causer of stress and anxiety in school, which would be getting a bad grade on an assignment. Don't know how I forgot to mention that, but yeah, that's probably where a lot of stress comes from. You get a D on an important assignment, and you think, oh gosh, am I going to graduate? Am I going to get an A in this class? Am I going to pass this class? So, yeah, just a little note there. Back to the video.
I really got out of the education, and I guess we're gonna have to close this off pretty soon.
Yeah.
But one more thing I would recommend you do in your own time is go look at what people that have made it, that have really made it. Elon Musk, for instance. Look at what they say about education and the school system and college. Look at what they say about it, and think to yourself, who do I trust more? People that have really made it and really understand how the world works, or this institution which exists to destroy me. Alright, I guess that's it. So, if you did like this video, please do subscribe and also like the video. You know, liking the video. That's pretty cool. You can email us. I mean, we do have an email for business inquiries to JB Sills Show Incorporated. And then we have Twitter and Instagram. I don't know why, but you know, it's a thing. And yeah. So until next time, I have been your host JB,
and I'm producer Brooke.
and have a great rest of your day. Happy 2021.